We have the beginning of one lawsuit and the end of another, Model S safety coming through again in an extraordinary situation, as well as Model S and Model X at the top of AAA's green car list. Here are your Tesla tidbits for April 20th, 2017. We started Electrek for the big story of the day. Sometime back, a group of attorneys were fishing for litigants to initiate a class action suit against Tesla regarding the delayed rollout of enhanced autopilot, as well as alleged false advertising of the full self-driving option. In the original effort, which I brought to you back in episode 201, it was clear the firm did not have a grasp on these features, as their recruitment page made claims that the cars lacked features that they did have at the time, as well as claiming Tesla already marketed the cars as full self-driving, despite bold print on the design studio telling would-be owners otherwise. It seems they've found their proxies, and it seems they still aren't well informed about what they intend to file suit for. While they've backed off of the full self-driving portion of the complaint, they've gone forward claiming that enhanced autopilot is, quote, essentially unusable and demonstrably dangerous, end quote. Steve Berman, managing partner of the law firm bringing the suit, expounds on this, saying, quote, Tesla has endangered the lives of tens of thousands of Tesla owners across the country and induced them to pay many thousands of dollars for a product that Tesla has not effectively designed. Tesla sold these vehicles as the safest sedan on the road. What consumers received were cars without standard safety enhancements featured by cars costing less than half the price of a new Tesla, and a purported enhanced autopilot that operates in an erratic and dangerous manner, end quote. While, up until recently, you could make a valid argument for the essentially unusable portion of that first statement, as it exists today, the feature has been demonstrably usable across many YouTube videos. Even so, the option box for enhanced autopilot has always warned that all features would not be ready right away, and currently reads, quote, Tesla's enhanced autopilot software has begun rolling out, and features will continue to be introduced as validation is completed, subject to regulatory approval, end quote. The lawsuit describes the state of the software as only having, quote, a dangerously defective traffic-aware cruise control, end quote, and, quote, the remaining features simply do not exist, end quote. As we all know, AutoSteer has finally reached parity with version 1, and Summon, Auto Lane Change, and Auto Park are all present. The suit aims for Tesla to buy back the vehicles and pay damages for, quote, the conduct of Tesla related to the defective standard safety features in enhanced autopilot, end quote, and, quote, Tesla's knowing fraud that garnered illicit profits for a product suite that does not exist and put drivers at risk, end quote. Electrek petitioned for, and got, a response from Tesla regarding the suit. Needless to say, they were none too pleased. Quote, this lawsuit is a disingenuous attempt to secure attorney's fees posing as a legitimate legal action, which is evidenced by the fact that the suit misrepresents many facts. Many of the features this suit claims are, quote, unavailable, end quote, are in fact available, with more updates coming every month. We have always been transparent about the fact that enhanced autopilot software is a product that would roll out incrementally over time, and that features would continue to be introduced as validation is completed, subject to regulatory approval. Furthermore, we have never claimed our vehicles already have functional full self-driving capability, as our website has stated in plain English for all potential customers that, quote, it is not possible to know exactly when each element of the functionality described above will be available, as this is highly dependent upon local regulatory approval, end quote. The inaccurate and sensationalistic view of our technology put forth by this group is exactly the kind of misinformation that threatens to harm consumer safety, end quote. I'll keep you posted as this suit progresses, hopefully ending swiftly and in Tesla's favor. From one suit to another, Teslarati reports that Tesla has settled a lawsuit. Way back in episode 166, I reported that Tesla had sued its former director of Autopilot, Sterling Anderson, claiming that Anderson thieved data on his way out the door and poached employees from Tesla thereafter to work at his new startup company, Aurora Innovation. Aurora just so happens to make self-driving car systems, which could potentially be competition to Tesla. Per Aurora, regarding the settlement, quote, Tesla has withdrawn its claims without damages, without attorney's fees, and without any finding of wrongdoing, end quote. Aurora agreed to reimburse the cost of an audit that would, quote, demonstrate the integrity, end quote, of its intellectual property. Tesla confirmed the settlement and a payment of $100,000 that it had been paid. Tesla's statement on the matter elaborated further, quote, under the settlement, Mr. Anderson's contractual obligations to Tesla will remain in place and will also be extended to Aurora, with additional specific protections being added to ensure there are no further violations. The settlement also establishes a process to allow Tesla to recover all of the proprietary information that was taken from the company, and it provides for Aurora's computer systems to be subject to ongoing audits to monitor for any improper retention or use of Tesla's property, end quote. While Anderson and Aurora avoided a judgment against them with the settlement, and while Aurora makes sure to let us know that they weren't subject to any damages, attorney's fees, or finding of wrongdoing, the terms of the settlement make it pretty clear who won here. This situation, along with the Waymo Uber lawsuit, should be a pretty sobering reminder to any would-be thieves that it's a patently awful idea to try to steal data from a company in order to benefit you. You will get sued, and you will very likely lose. Back to Electrek for an incredible survivor story out of California. We've had some amazing crash and survival stories regarding Teslas, but this one may be the most incredible yet. A driver who understandably wants to remain anonymous recounts the tale. Quote, "While driving perhaps a tad too spirited, a deer appeared at a curve at the worst possible moment. I instinctively, mistakenly, swerved to avoid it, and my car ended up over the edge. We tumbled perhaps 150 to 200 feet down a steep slope, ended upside down," end quote. Except it wasn't just 150 to 200 feet, as if that wasn't bad enough. It ended up being a whopping 500-foot ordeal with that car coming to rest on its roof. The driver described the event as, quote, "the most terrifying seconds of his life," end quote. But he and his passenger crawled out of the car via the sunroof with nothing more than, quote, "bruises and muscle soreness," end quote. The tow company spent 4 hours recovering the vehicle. The driver reportedly is already looking to purchase a new Tesla to replace the totaled vehicle. He also advised driving, quote, "a bit more cautiously," end quote, at night on a mountain road. No doubt about that for sure. Lastly, in what would have been yesterday's only story were there a show, AAA released its green car list, and unsurprisingly, we find Tesla crushing it. Teslarati has the story, letting us know that the Model X 75D was ranked as AAA's best overall green vehicle in its 2017 Green Car Guide. Second, third, and fourth go to the Volvo CX-90, Chevy Bolt, and Volkswagen e-Golf SE, respectively, followed in fifth by the Model S60, which of course, sadly, is no longer a production vehicle. Congrats to Tesla for pulling 2 of the top 5 spots, as well as that overall best achievement. You can find the links to today's full stories in the show description. This show operates on a value-for-value model. If you get some value out of what I do each day, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Many thanks to super patrons John Waltauer, Drew Schuyler, Cookie UK, and John Waller for supporting the show at the $10 plus level. If you have nothing extra to spare, no worries. Feel free to support the show with your positive feedback and subscriptions on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and other services across the internet. Lastly, if you're in the market for a Tesla, you can get yourself $1,000 off while supporting the show and super patron Drew Schuyler by using the referral link ts.la/Andrew1233. That's it for today. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. I'll see you all back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.